I was wrong. I was wrong. Earlier this season, I made a video about the Tennessee Volunteers and how I couldn't stand their style of play. And it wasn't the press. I love teams that press. I like defensive pressure. It wasn't the 5-player substitutions either. I actually like when teams have their own quirks that are unique to them. That's why I love the NCAA. Really diverse league, lots of different players, coaches, cities that they represent, and so you get all of these different styles. I like it. For me, it was a three-point shooting, and what seemed to be an emphasis on getting up as many three-point shots as possible, make or miss. There were a lot of games that more than half of their attempts were three-pointers, and the amount of makes just didn't really justify shooting that many threes, in my opinion. I couldn't stand it. That part, I stand on that. But I also said that I would be actively rooted against them for the entire season, as long as they played this style of play. And maybe some of those three-point shots kind of roll back a bit. Maybe they haven't. In my opinion, I've seen it turn back just a little bit. But that's not really what changed my mind. Well, first of all, I knew it would be hard, right? I grew up watching Candace Parker play. She's one of my favorite players. Spent all last season raving about Rickea Jackson. And so it's kind of hard to see that Tennessee jersey and just root against it for myself, right? But it's not just that. It's Kim Caldwell. She's won me over. Kim Caldwell has won me over. I apologize for everything I said earlier. I was wrong. Not only as a coach, but as a person. Coming back to coach her team after just having a baby, like how soon she came back, that's my kind of stuff. If you know me, you know I love toughness. I love no excuses. I don't care how injured you were, how hurt you were. I like people who just get up and get it done, no matter what. Knock them down 10 times, they get up 12. Those are my kind of people. So she won me over with that. Also, the way I see the players respond to her and react to her, galvanize around her, won me over with that. Her comments about her players after games, win or loss, just the way that she talks about her players and speaks life into them, even when she's being critical, right? Coaches have to be critical about their players sometimes, but even when she does, it's done in a way that I respect personally as a coach and as a player. I like what she does. Huge difference from what I'm seeing from Geno Auriemma, by the way, who rolled Paige right under the bus, backed the bus up, put it forward again, and backed it up again. Now, I've had my beefs with Geno, right? And this entire time that he's talked about Caitlin Clark, I didn't like the comments that he made last season.
If you're a college player and you're a great college player, like Caitlin was, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. There were actually odds on she's third or fourth in betting odds on being MVP at the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a bad name. Okay, so the kid was set up for failure right from the beginning. So if you're a WNBA player, and believe me, I've coached the best, this kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league, and she's a rookie. This rookie class isn't even one of the best rookie classes in the last 10 years. But they've been put out to be that because the way social media is today. So what kind of impact is this rookie class having in the WNBA? I think she talks a lot of and she gets a lot of back. So she deserves everything she gets because she gives it as good as she gets it. She's just not built for the physicality of this league. Yeah, and she's not quick enough to get away from the physicality. So there's a lot of learning curve, like Diana said. And when she gets it, she has elite skills that are going to really help her. Yeah, but she needs to be on a better team, and she needs to be more experienced, and that will come. But for these ridiculous fans who had her slotted as the next Diana now, they're out of their mind.
Her delusional fan base, which I'm a part of, right? So of course I might have took that personal. There's some bias there, but we were right. He was wrong. I don't care about your resume. Right is right, wrong is wrong. She tore the league up. Everything that he said that she wouldn't do, she did. But that's neither here nor there. It's more so just about him in general, how smug he is. I look at some of the pregame interviews. He cuts reporters off when they're asking questions. Yeah. And then just starts going into these long, drawn out answers, just bloviating about nothing, trying to make everything deeper than what it is. Like he's imparting some sort of sage wisdom. It's not. It's never that deep. Just answer the damn question. You know, he thinks everything that he says is poignant. You can tell it's not. It's also, you know, like I said, the way, and I love Sarah Strong. He bigs up some of his players and he rolls the bus over other ones. In this case, Paige Bueckers was the one who got the bus ran over. KK Arnold, shout out to Wisconsin, you know, I love my Wisconsin players. KK Arnold, she got some praise that she deserved. But dude, to do Paige Bueckers like
We have some players on our team that are supposed to be our best players, and they got to play better. That's all there is to it.
Paige has had trouble getting going, it seems like, in a few of these bigger games now. I mean, just what do you feel like is kind of the block with her in terms of being able to start as hot as she has in Big East play?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's a real kind of conundrum, you know. Paige wants the ball in her hands all the time. Then when they trap her, she don't want the ball in her hands. So then we try to get her moving from, you know, one thing to another, moving without the ball, and you know, it's so. So we've got to come to some sort of definitive thing here, how we're going to handle it. But right now, it's not the winning edge for sure. And passing up stuff, you know, like I don't get it.
Paige, I know this is your 5th year. Are you thinking of going pro next year after this season ends?
Yeah, that's the plan.
it wasn't a great game by her. So I'm not saying that what he said was wrong. It was time, place, and tonality completely out of line, in my opinion. You guys can let me know if you agree or disagree. You know, I'm not always 100% right. Clearly, I'm here apologizing or correcting something that I said earlier in the season. You know, I don't wake up batting 100 either. I know that. I know that as soon as I wake up, I'm going to be wrong about some things because I'm going to say a lot of things. Right? But I feel like you can change your opinion when you're presented with new information, and that's the case right now. I'm not somebody who digs in and doubles down just because I said something once. I've seen more. I've taken in more information, and now I like it.
Celebration.
I didn't
And
care
did they
for it.
surprise you?
No, they did not surprise me. I did not care for it. It was definitely overkill. It wasn't cups of water. It was bottles of water. And I surrendered.
Kim, the broadcast said Talasia was sick with the flu and didn't practice yesterday. How close was she to 100% tonight? And then what did she give you, even though she was struggling on the offense?
Yeah, I don't think she still felt great. She did a really good job of fighting through adversity at the beginning of the game. She didn't see some shots go in. She still got teammates opened. She made some mistakes that were frustrating, and she still stepped up big for us at the end.
Kim Z really took over down the stretch in the fourth quarter. What do you think led to so much success for her at the end of the game?
I think there was a different version of Z coming into this game. She was locked in. She was focused. She was I think this game really meant something to her, and she had 2 good days leading up to it.
Paige Bueckers, when she was asked that question about whether or not she's going to go to the draft, it looked like, hey, get me out of here now, please. Please get me out of here now. Dallas, Seattle, wherever. I'll leave right now. Now, it could just be, her face after a tough loss. I know I'm putting a little bit of extra on it. That's what I do, right? But I just felt bad for her. And some of the criticisms that he had, like I said, they were valid. Things that I've said previously, right? You guys know I'm no Paige Bueckers apologist. I'm not a hater, but I never felt like she was as good as some people said. I feel like she's one of the top players in the country, but people made it seem like she was just hands down the best player in the country, no doubt, #1 pick of the draft. No, I never felt that way. Now, when Caitlin Clark was there, not this season, I've spoken about how certain players who carry more on their shoulders, like a Caitlin Clark, like a Juju Watkins, people talk about their efficiency compared to hers. I don't buy it. I feel like when you pick and choose the times when you're going to be, aggressive, yeah, your efficiency can be high. You can have world-class efficiency when you're not carrying a certain load that some of these other players do day in and day out, where it's just on them to make something happen. And so I've been big on that. Production over efficiency sometimes, right? That's been my thing. But now it seems like that's his thing that he's preaching. But when you guys are winning by 33 points a game in the Big East, it's not a problem. Everybody lauds her selflessness and how she moves the ball, distributes it around, doesn't make it all about her. And that's supposed to be the things that make her elite.
Does she have the build to play in the WNBA?
No,
Okay.
but her game is different. Her game is different than Caitlin's in that she's more of just a distributor, get the ball, you know. Her game is more like Sue Bird's game. All right. And not that Sue had the physicality to play in that league, but obviously she's the best point guard ever. But I think her game, the subtleties of her game will translate.
But when you get in these big games, all of a sudden you want her to become these other players who shoulder the load, you know, efficient or not, go out and get you those points and make it all about, hey, I have to win this game. You can't have it both ways. You can't. You can't laud her for moving the ball around and being a team player who knows how to move off the ball and all of these other things. And then now that she's in a big game getting trapped, you're like, oh, she's getting off the ball. She's turning certain things down. And I just don't get it. To me, yeah, these are real POS comments from Geno Auriemma. I'm not going to say he's a POS, but the comments, yeah, piece of shit comments, honestly, man. Don't like it. Don't like it. I feel like he's a guy, 3 O's, old, ornery, out of touch. I'm going to just be honest with you. A lot of his comments for the past couple of years, he doesn't seem to like this whole NIL situation. He doesn't seem to like the newer generation of players. He doesn't seem to like this social media thing that's not new at all. But he's just out there, you know, shaking his fist at the clouds. Get off my lawn kind of guy. And I wonder how long can he hold this position where you have newer, younger players coming in that you have to find some kind of common ground and relate to. Can he still relate to any of these younger players? It doesn't seem like he likes anything that's current or that's modern. And in my opinion, some of these older coaches need to go. We need more coaches like Kim Caldwell. We need more coaches like Lindsey Gottlieb. I know some people are on her right now, but USC Trojans coach Lindsey Gottlieb. We need more coaches like that can actually relate to these players on a different level. When I see Geno Auriemma, even Kim Mulkey, those comments that she made after the loss to South Carolina, some of those backhanded compliments and that subtle shade that she was throwing, man, get these coaches the hell out of here, man. I don't care if you're an LSU fan or a UConn fan. Hey, we can go at it in the comments, right? You know I'm all for that. We can have a civil discourse in the comments. But I think these old, crusty coaches need to get the hell out the league since you don't like anything that's going on right now, right? And make way for some new talent, man. Some people who can actually relate and resonate with these kids in a different way and not throw them under the bus, you know, because you lost your precious rivalry. Yeah, I don't know, man. You know, huge Sarah Strong fan. I wish her the best. I honestly wish she had chosen to go to a different school, or at least I wish that she could be coached by a different coach, because I just don't know that Geno Auriemma is the one. Yes, he's proven. I know he's proven. He has a lot of great players. He's done a lot more in basketball than I ever have or will. I understand that. Cool. You guys also know I'm big on F your resume. I care about right now. I care about right now. We could be having a conversation. I don't care how many titles you have, what. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If I'm right, I'm right, right? I feel like the game might have passed him by. Not from an X's and O's standpoint necessarily. Maybe there's some of that too. But from a personality, from a culture standpoint, I feel like the game has passed him by. And I just wish some of these old coaches, since you don't like anything that's going on right now, would just make way. Make way. But that's just my opinion, you know? Anyway, great game by Tennessee. I like the fact that they finally got that top 10 win that Kim Caldwell was looking for. I'm hoping they do great things. I know they have some real good talent coming in next season with the Pardo twins. And, yeah, we'll see what they do against South Carolina this week.
When Paige Bueckers said she was coming back, you said what?
I said, I knew that. She's having too good a time here. Her impact here is so great. Her impact nationally is great. And she doesn't want to be known as the greatest player ever to play at UConn without winning a national championship. And I remind her that every day.